Hello, everyone, and welcome to the conclusion of round number 3 here at the 2021 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, joined alongside Pete Ulibarri. And Pete, we're watching some sweet action take place. The tournament has shifted focus from the Fountain course over here to the Shelly Sharpe course, and plenty of par 4s, unlike at Fountain.
Correct. There's a little bit more room. There's some longer holes out here, which is nice because these guys get to kind of stretch out their legs, but in this case, their arms. And this is a cool hole. I think we're going to see a bunch of rollers. There's some really nice forehands. Maybe a long flex shot. You can choose several different things.
Yeah, and this, also for a little geography, this actually goes out to the furthest point on the course. He goes inside? You don't like that route?
No!
That's not what you two practice?
Okay. When I was a kid, my mom taught me how to sew, and I didn't know Paul learned how to thread needles because, that was a really good shot. A little gushing. Okay. That was a great shot.
Yeah,
right there.
Klein follows it. He's makes everything look so effortless. Now, here's a forehand that you talked about. Looks like it stands up.
Swinging. Well, we'll see what he ends up with that lie.
Yeah, I mean, he stayed safe, which is obviously the first and foremost. We'll see if it's obstructed or not. Marking of disc golf over on the right side there, taking pictures. Some incredible stuff. You got to check out his Instagram.
By AB, that's for sure.
That's high, and that's actually a pretty good kick, or a drop down, we should say.
For sure. He could have easily caught anything and just gone out across the out of bounds on the right-hand side there, but
or even potentially stayed up. Anything over 6 feet 6 inches. They're playing the 2 meters this year, so that would have been out of bounds.
Inside again. Come on.
Oh, and it's flirts.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, it flirts with that right side. I'll spoil it. He just barely is in bounds there, but he does flirt with the OB line up on that right side. Here's a forehand.
All right, that's good.
It's 651. I know we kind of talked back on hole number 7 about that being 645 feet, but that one plays, to the righty backhand hyzers. Here, you've got to shape your shots in a much more difficult way, right?
And Ezra goes. Is he deep? Is he OB?
Yeah, he's deep, but he is not out of bounds. I don't see the OB. Well, either that or I just didn't edit it correctly, but no, he's actually in bounds. Chasing down Gary to the O on the catch cam there.
Kyle swings it wide. He's calling for it to get in front of that tree, and it doesn't. Well, it stops in front of it.
So you have probably about 40 feet.
Okay. AB.
Incredible putt. Outstretched, low ceiling, Anheuser downhill. What more could you ask for?
I
mean, that had just about everything in a difficult putt. Here's Kyle. This is at least 40 feet.
Fireworks. He turns back, says hello to all the people that are way far away, just randomly walking through the park.
Yep. And I know his mom and dad are watching. I usually keep up with one or both of them throughout the rounds. They tell me how nervous they are as their young son is out on tour.
Are you kidding? Settle down, boys.
Jeez, that is...
No, don't settle down. This is fun.
3 putts from outside the circle, all for birdies.
Paul's like, hey, can you pull that real quick? I'm going to tap out.
Yeah, I just got this little 23-footer. Maybe it looks a little longer now.
It looked really short a second ago.
Wow. What
that
a
had
way.
Half the airtime than the other putts.
And what a way to kick off our back 9. Nice work by the card. Smiles by Paul and the rest of the group. And they're going to take a walk around the water. Huge shout out to Sandy Point, Mike and Michelle. Check them out in northern Wisconsin. Here's hole 11. We're heading back.
Heading back, swing a hyzer out over the sidewalk up here on the right-hand side. You can't quite see it, but it's that rock line. The best shots are going to be landing right here. And then you're left with about 330 to 360 feet into the basket. That palm tree that you just saw, it typically comes into play when the guys are going for a higher spike on the basket. And that's out wide, like we said. Does it check? Runs down into that pocket a little bit. That's going to be a little bit more of a challenging shot.
Yeah, and I've always felt like this was a difficult hole to keep it in bounds, but then they've now added Mandos in the last few years, making this fairway even tighter.
It really forces you to have to play a specific position. Before you could get away with several of the shots and like slip them off to the left over there and then just swing a forehand out over the sidewalk. But we removed the chance to go down the sidewalk. And position then becomes key.
There's that yellow disc. Very difficult to keep in
there
focus.
It is.
There it is. Finally, I knew I'd track it eventually.
Another yellow disc. No, it's not.
No, this one's orange. This one I can follow.
You got this.
Well, then until he launches one into
Stratosphere. He's talking to it. And it stops. Now, that's a really long throw. All right.
And you know, we're talking about, shaping a shot. You have to be so specific to make sure that doesn't come in any flatter, because if that catches on the rim, that easily kicks out to the left, into the sidewalk OB. So when you're throwing that shot, make sure that it's knifing down. AB asking for the glide. Gets a little bit. I'm not going to say I have better moves on the dance floor, but that slide worked.
It was nice.
Ezra's going to play it, and also, coming in on edge.
All right, and next year we're going to talk about a rope across the top of there for a Mando.
Yeah.
All these guys, man, look at these shots. Like,
they're just trying to take all of these trees out of play, and that actually checks up. Little backspin to it. AB still holding on to the one-stroke lead here in the third round.
That doesn't help anything. If anybody's wondering if that helps, it doesn't.
Pro tip. It was the exact same spot that we saw, just a bit low. Putting, I mean, this is, of course, slightly uphill, but
this shoulder really does. It reminds me of
Hammock. Brad Hammock.
Yes, absolutely.
That's funny. That thinking the same thing there. Oh yeah, very different release from what you see from Brad as he.
With that little tuck.
Yep.
Is
Brad also a very, very good golfer, ball golfer that is. Okay. So I know that's in your brother's toolbox, so to speak.
Sports.
Yeah, skills that he's
good.
Let's see these guys tap in. We're going to move over to hole 12. Of course, it's another water shot, one that you think about whenever you come to this course, and you think about the holes that stand out when you leave here, or maybe even terrify you. Hole 8's a little easier. Hole 12, you got to have the guns for it. Big shout out to spinners on the green, Keith and Ashley and the crew over there. What are they doing here?
Well, it says 377. It probably plays closer to 400. The water here creates a lot of different air temperatures and pressures, and weird things happen with the disc. This gunite tricks your brain a little bit. The gunite is that concrete area, and then the green is fast. So You've got to get the disc up higher. You got to commit 100% to your shot. If you at all lay off, you're gonna lose strokes.
Yeah, and you definitely cannot let it stall out.
Looks pretty good. It's pushing. That's plenty long.
It's a little bit of ground play and leaving himself with a good look at birdie. Yeah, it's almost not fair. Whatever coverage you've watched, you're always watching top elite level players come out here and try and throw this shot, and I guarantee you it is not as easy as what Paul or Ezra just made it look. That is a full pull to get it up on top of that gunite.
Exactly. I've had the privilege to play out at Winthrop, and I say on this hole and on Winthrop hole 17, it's going to take me an entire lifetime career to get under par because I've made so many bogeys on this hole, and I mean, it is a whole lot harder than you think. These guys make it look really easy, but they also have great distance control and length in their throws.
Yeah, the fact that AB is so confident that he can put a forehand up on this line and goes way deep. That's incredible.
Mix in some wind with that, which is typical here. That is very typical that you're not seeing glass water. You're seeing water that actually has little white cap wakes on it. Nice putt, Paul.
Yeah, putting to this elevated basket, if that were to go deep and not draw any metal, he could easily find himself out of bounds. So
very quickly.
Great putt. AB, a little bit better angle, so to speak, but he still does have to make sure he draws some metal because a fast putt finds the OB quickly.
A little low again. Ezra's lining up. I feel like that could be like a bumper sticker or like in a fortune cookie. A fast putt finds the OB quickly.
That sounds like fortune cookie material. I think that's one of the biggest compliments I've ever received. That almost implies that I said something insightful.
It really was
I'll
good.
take it.
I like it.
Speaking of which, you guys should leave some comments. I don't even care what they are. I always tell you to leave something. But make sure you're putting some comments down there. Make sure you're liking and all that other typical YouTube stuff. But I've got Double G's Craft Jerky to give away. We've got 6-sided discs. I'm working with them. Ledgestone Insurance shop. We've got all sorts of giveaways. I think I'm going to guilt DGA into also finding a way to give away a basket or two. Those mock shifts that you guys have seen are incredible putting baskets. So those might be exclusive to any of my Patreon subscribers.
Like, changes shape?
It's crazy. Like you said, like a transformer. And they're going to have a long walk back to hole number 13. Also, my disc in a box, all your shipping solutions. 405 feet, and there's just danger everywhere on this.
This hole's gotten far more difficult over the years. Yes, folks, the trees grow. They get bigger. These trees used to be really short and this fairway a lot easier. Now, you have to throw a precise tunnel shot if you want to get down here. Or if you're somebody like Ezra, you might throw it all the way over the tree. But this shot that Uli's throwing right here is extremely difficult.
Yeah, and you see the stripe on the tree. That's a mandatory. So you have to get past that on the right side if you're looking at it from the tee, which is exactly what he did. And if you were to come out here and play almost any other day of the week, this is probably where you would start your round. This is typically hole number 1 in the so to speak recreational layout.
Yeah, and the basket would typically sit over here on the right-hand side, right next to the water at about 300 feet. So this is doubled up to what would be 18's basket from hole 1's tee.
Yeah, so we're playing the XL layout, just to throw that out there, because I know a lot of people will travel and they want to play the courses that the top players throw. Ezra is safe. See a little Uli logo up there. I like it. I like it. And also, thank you again for the drone previews for this and the Shelly Sharpe.
That's really high.
So the hole is 405. He threw it we'll call it
250 feet high.
I was going to say he landed 380 feet from the basket. What do you think the effective power was there?
490.
Funny note, again, as I'm out there working the camera. There's a random hot dog stamper running around. Kyle's trying to get to the bottom of it. Somebody put a hot dog stamp on the bottom of his disc. As we say that one, just scoop out.
So you're saying there's somebody out there. Go, Ezra. There's somebody out there with like a rubber stamp stamping hot dogs or something on people's discs?
Either that or they're carrying around a cricket machine or something. But yeah, I'm guessing a rubber stamp machine. And Paul tentative, understandably, with the water directly behind it.
If anybody doesn't know what he means by cricket machine, talk to your local scrapbooker.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys are frequently visiting Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I'm sure all the other 42-year-old guys like myself out there know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, if you ain't talking cricket, I don't know.
Mate.
I don't know what crafting you're doing, folks. So Kyle had actually just before he had thrown, he said to me, he's like, should I be running this? Like, no. I mean, yeah, do what you want, but no, you shouldn't be running that. Thanks to Huss Brewing. Let's look at hole 14, another par 4.
Mando on your left. You need to be right of that tree. You're going to be flying straight down this gap. There's that tree right there is Mando also. Tree on the right is Mando left. Now we're getting down to the green. These eucalyptus trees tend to block most of your shots if you got them too high. So just control. You're about 300 to 350 feet off the tee. 300 to 280 in. Now, clinic.
Wow. I mean, had that been with maybe a little bit more hyzer and gotten a full flex out of it, that was an incredible shot. It was incredible with where it still landed, but it had even bigger potential.
Paul catches the right tree. That tree sets right about 285 feet.
Kyle,
just in front of it. It doesn't get any better than being right on the drop zone.
Yeah, he's put himself in a great position. And we know Kyle, like all of these players, actually, very proficient. Forehands, backhands. Just don't pinch yourself up against a tree or an OB line or anything like that. And you should have a pretty easy play to the pin. Paul's going to be on this right side. This is a dangerous shot.
This is super difficult.
Knowing there's OB on the left.
He's throwing Mantis just inside the corner. Well, he made the Mando.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't keep it clean, though. And here's AB going with a forehand. He's going to flirt with that OB on the left side.
Got a little bounce. Yeah. It's in his range.
Yeah, a little bit deep.
That's looking pretty good.
This is a zone by Ezra.
Well played. If you're in position, this is not the most difficult hole. I should say if you're in position with forehands like these guys have, it makes it look a whole lot easier. Great shot.
Yeah, they just make it look so easy. Again, if you're not 1,000 rated, this course
just quickly shows you that you're not 1,000 rated.
Yeah, very quickly. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's so easy. There's not much to it. There's not enough trees, a lot of hyzers." I'm telling you, sure, there's not a ton of obstacles. There's still plenty of Mandos. There's still shot shaping. It's just these players make this course look so easy when they're on.
Exactly. And you're playing disc golf in March, in February. That's That's why they're here.
Yeah, this is such a great place to be. I want to say this is probably my 13th or so year coming to the Memorial, having such a good time here year in and year out. Heck, I think it's actually been more than that. Once I got here my first time in 2005 to put in a bid for the 2007 AM Worlds, once I got here, I was like, the only time I can miss this is if one of my kids is being born. And, well, thanks, Kenzie.
You got nice kids. They're always smiling and happy in your videos.
They are. I'm quite blessed. And we see a few tap-ins, and hole 14 is done. They take a quick walk. Usually there's a backup on 15. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, let's go to this hole. Most of the guys are going to throw long flex shots, throw rollers out, land in this area. You're going to throw a hyzer in, skipping around, or you might throw a big spike hyzer if you're one of our players on this card. Ezra, I've seen him in practice throw this disc around the Mando. Oh, I had high hopes.
Looks like the
I had really high hopes.
Yeah, the stability comes out. Well, is that a nuke? What is that? Do you know?
I think that's a nuke.
Okay. Just didn't get over on it enough. I was excited to see where that could land as well.
Man. Well, that's high. I think he might have caught some of the branches up there. Looks like Paulie's going to go roller. All right, it's a good angle. It's not chasing ultimate distance, but it's just getting him into position.
Yeah, and it's always great to land anywhere flat on this hole. If you're up on that right side, you're safe. It's just your footing can be really awkward because you usually have to throw at least a 350-foot shot to the pin, and you're going downhill.
That's very true.
So being on that flat ground certainly.
All right, what's this doing? He's going really far.
Yeah, that's
500.
Yeah, easy.
Maybe a little bit more.
It gives you, it opens up more options because he can go possibly straight at it, down the tunnel. He could go with a low hyzer skip. He could go with a high spiking hyzer. He's got a lot of options when you're that far out and on that right-hand side where Kyle and Ezra, I think we're going to see they're going to both have to throw just big righty backhand spikes if they're trying to get up and down still.
See what Paul's got here. Put some good pop on that. It's got a good angle.
Got to beat that tree usually.
He beat the tree.
Yeah.
Great shot.
That tree, I feel like if we went back and looked at any kind of footage, I feel like 7 or 8 out of 10 shots that come into this pin hit that tree. So getting around it is optimum.
Ezra takes a tall order of spike hyzer. From where he was at, that was you dream to get there for most players because that's way out of position.
So AB's got the low.
Skip.
He also beats that tree.
Hits the tree, and it starts rolling.
Oh, no. Rolling away from the pin, but it does stop before the OB sidewalk.
So right here where the cameraman is setting is right about 25 feet from the out of bounds. So if you come into this basket a little too hot, it's very easy to slip out. Go, he says.
Yeah.
Yes. That's for par.
I was going to say that's a par the hard way.
He was way out of position where he went out of bounds. Nobody throws from where he was at and gets up and down.
It saves it. Yeah, that was incredible. Man. So this is AB for a long look at birdie.
That's nice. I'll say I've seen one other person get from about that spot, and that was Barry Schultz with a cut roller around the whole park, and it came back in. So it's a magical thing to pull it off from there.
The other champ, as Barry's refers to himself as. Also the hero that I grew up playing with and watching in Wisconsin. Paul makes a good putt. Kyle is just going to have to tap that in. He's looking at a par, and we see this great battle continue. We hear of a couple other good scores coming in. I think Paul Macbeth is shooting well. I think Josh Anthon is shooting well. They're just a few cards in front. Now we'll take a look at hole 16. This has gotten a little longer and a little tougher throughout the years.
Yeah, you need to. They pulled the tee back. Here we have a very barren hillside. It plays really fast, so your angle control into this green has to be perfect, or it'll run down and go out of bounds really fast. Let's see what Paul's throwing here. I believe that was a mantis. Now he's got good angle here, but it slowed down just before there and slid to the bottom. So he had a good enough, how do I say it? He had good speed coming in, but not enough to hold the hill. Had that been a faster disc, he would have skipped straight out of bounds.
Yeah, and we'll see what AB, interesting to see him go with the forehand, trying to just play up to the hillside. You always have to worry about the rollaway here.
Huh? All right, stop.
Or put the brakes on. Part job by AB.
Ezra also. All right, misses that tree, comes up. It's a good shot.
Yeah, that sidewalk comes. It's really a pinch point on that left side where that sidewalk is. So as you get closer to the basket, the OB actually gets closer and closer as well. See if Kyle's got the right speed. That looks a little light.
All right. He had a very lucky roll there. For him to get up and roll, it's really easy. Like you said, it heads straight to the pinch point.
You have to wonder if this is almost a blessing in disguise, and I say that because he may have landed in a position where he really was thinking about running it, and then once he gets up and rolls, it kind of puts him in a layup zone for sure.
For sure.
So, I mean, I don't know if that's just a silver lining or maybe trying to be too optimistic, but that might have been a little bit of a blessing. Maybe it saved him a stroke. I mean, he could have always made the putt, from that position, but just
We're looking for silver linings.
Yeah, just looking at it a different perspective. And that's heartbreaking if it. Oh no, yeah, it does not come back. So Ezra is reminded, as I think he already knew, you can always putt from the position where you previously were.
And he makes the same mistake, but it doesn't roll this time. He's not happy about that.
No, that is heartbreaking. I can't think of hole 16 without thinking about Nico a number of years ago in contention. It's immediately what comes to mind every time you think of hole 16 and the hill. You think about Nico, kind of giving away the tournament on this hole. And fast forward, think just 24 hours from now. When things are coming down the stretch, what that rollaway can mean to any one of these competitors.
Yeah, you need to be on your game. You need to make your putts if you want to win championships.
Or commit to the layup.
100% commitment to the layups.
Yeah, there's no in between here. I want to commit to a ride in that van. That looks fun. All right, hole 17, shortest, maybe the easiest, 243.
243, little forehand chip shot. Or if you want to be touchy, you can throw your putter straight down into the side of the hill and slide it up into this green/brown.
The brown green?
The brown green. I think that's what we'll call it.
This is the easiest hole statistically.
It better be.
2.45 as a par 3. Wow.
That's easy. Now, if any of you come into town and want to play this hole, it's always in play. It's and you can actually see how easy it is.
Yeah, I would just play this all day. This looks fun.
Oh yeah.
I feel like since they elevated the basket for competition, you just don't see quite the ace runs.
That's true.
But it's one you got to get. You know, you're moving into 18, and you're thinking, hey, I could pick one more up. Anything can happen on 18. So let's get some work done. Ezra already was fast as a thrower, but he's in a little bit of frustration mode, understandably, after that last roll away. Yeah. So he steps right up and just jams it in.
Puts it in. There used to be a tree here.
Mm-hmm.
It was what actually made this green kind of cool. It had some blocker. You could come in a little too fast, hit it, roll out of bounds. And then a storm came in and knocked it over, and a tall pole grew in its place, and they put a basket on it.
Well, we are moving into the 54th hole of the tournament. It's a doozy. I think that's what the kids still say. 381 feet?
Doozy.
Yeah, doozy.
381 feet. There are 2 Mandos on this hole. The first one you're seeing there. The second one will be up near this tree. The green is fast. Typically, you're facing a headwind. Land right in here. Don't miss a Mando. Like I said, the green is fast. So anything can happen with any drive that is not coming in with correct angle.
And if you are going to miss left or miss anywhere, make sure it's up near the basket. The water's edge is pretty close to the basket, so recoveries are possible if you get close to that pin. It's a nice flat shot by AB.
Ground is slowing it down. He had good angle there where it didn't take off on a flash skip.
Got a little height to it.
Just want to get down. Come on, slow down.
And as you said, that green is so fast that came in with just a little too much angle. He is pin high, though, so we'll see if he can possibly still save the par. Kyle's going to hang it a little bit wider. Gonna flirt
That's
with those
close.
Mandos.
And he has just enough to slow it down. I mean, you can see right there, it's probably 15 feet from the water's edge, maybe 20. That's not much margin for error when you are swinging it in.
And this whole place slightly over par.
I think it's just because the Mandos, they really get in your head.
Ezra from just inside the circle. All right.
Good putt.
Yeah, I mean, just great resilience. You know, had the unfortunate roll away on 16, comes back on 17 and 18, still picks up the birdies.
He's got work to do.
Yeah, falling off the pace as we watch AB push to that 32 under par. Kyle Klein is going to remain right on his heels as he's underneath the basket.
I think history tells us, I mean, we got another round to go. History tells us that the event is typically won right around 40 under.
Yeah, anywhere from 40 to 44, I feel like, are some leaderboards I think about throughout the years. And thankfully, Paul is in for the par. He's going to slip, I think, though, just off this lead card. Not quite enough as Kyle taps in. So thank you guys for joining us. Pete, it's been a pleasure. I know you're vying for the win in the MP40 division. So
going hunting in the morning.
Go get you some. And again, can't say it enough. Thanks to all the cameramen, all the crew out there, and all the supporters and sponsors, including my gracious Patreon subscribers. You guys are really what are making all this coverage happen. Now, real quick, we'll take a look at this lead card. As we just said, we saw hot rounds actually from Macbeth and Anthon. So they will jump onto the lead card. Anthony and Kyle will remain. And of course, Disc Golf Guy is going to have that coverage for you. Looking forward to seeing you on Championship Sunday.
See ya.